Hi guys, welcome back to another recipe episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy, and today I'm going to share with you my technique for making some delicious, magnificent, oh my god, off the charts half runner beans. They're very simple to make. These beans have already been strung and washed. I washed them 3 times. I always want to make sure that I wash them, very thoroughly after I've broke them up, and to make sure, get all the dirt and stuff off of them. So, without further ado, my friends, let's get started. These I've already broken up. This is probably slightly over a pound, pound and a half, 2 pounds. And I got the strings off really well, and I just rinsed them in a nice cool water bath and just kind of took my hands through them and, got all that loose dirt and stuff off of them. I also got some jaw bacon. This is what I like to cook in my green beans. It's pork jaw bacon. This cuts better if you put it in the freezer first. This runs fairly cheap, and you can cook several pots of green beans with this. This was only like $3.27 for this piece. I like to put it in the freezer, like I said, because it makes it easier to cut. It's got a lot of nice salt content to it, so and the pork fat, the bacon type grease is absolutely delicious on the beans. I like to cut it in nice sized chunks. And it can be kind of difficult to cut into because it's got that thick piece of fat there. So be careful, watch your fingers as you're cutting. So for these many beans, I'm going to cut off about 5 pieces of this bacon. And this should season them really well. Alright, once I have my salt pork cut, I'm going to use a nice big pot here. I'm just going to lay it right in the bottom of it. And I'm going to fry it just like I would bacon. Now, we're not going to fry this all the way done. We're going to fry it until it gets nice and crispy on both sides. And there is a lot of nice fat back grease that's going to come out of that. And it's going to season your beans absolutely perfect. Once you got your salt bacon in there, we always call it salt bacon, but your jaw bacon in there, nice and crispy on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and add my green beans in there. As you can see, there's not a lot of drippings in there that didn't come out of this, so we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more bacon grease. We're going to add some water into them. You're going to add just enough water to, you're not really going to cover them, but you're going to add a nice dousing of water in there. It's about 3/4 of water. That's what we like to do, because by the time the water is cooked out of them, the beans are going to be absolutely perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add in about another tablespoon of bacon grease. This is your seasoning. This is why when you fry bacon, you keep bacon grease, because there's a number of things that I cook with bacon grease. It is what it is. You can just stir that around in there. Gotta get it off the spoon. I'm gonna add some of the dried onion flakes. These have such a nice flavor in them, and be generous about it, because it's going to give your bean a nice, it's going to add a nice flavor to your beans. And then we're going to add some salt. So we're going to add some pepper in that. Some people put fresh onions in theirs, but I don't, because, the fresh onions they just cook up. And they kind of get like a little mushy in there. The reason I like to use onion flakes versus the real onion at times, or sometimes I use both depending on, sometimes if I'm cooking a food that does not have a long cooking time, I'm getting that texture of the onion, that nice little bite of the onion. And then when I add the onion flakes, you're getting the actual flavor of the onion, because you know when onions are cooked, let's be real, let's be honest here, you don't get a lot of flavor out of onions when you're cooking with them. You're kind of getting more of a texture and just that bite of the onion. So I like to use the dried onion flakes. I use these a lot in just about everything that I cook, you know, that I want the onion flavor. I mean, these are phenomenal when it comes to onion flavor. But that's all you're going to do, and you're just going to kind of stir it, get it mixed around. I remember back in the days when we go down to my family's in Kentucky, specifically my dad's, when my grandma would cook fresh green beans, that right there, that pork, that jaw bacon that was the fight of the table. Everybody wants a piece of that jaw bacon. And then I'm just going to put a lid on it and bring it up to till it starts to boil, and then I'm going to turn it back down to about medium low, and then I'm going to kind of cock my lid there, kind of make sure it's ajarred there a little bit, and then I'm just going to let my beans cook. Alright guys, my green beans are done. Look at that, they look absolutely fabulous. These cooked for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now if you had planned on putting some potatoes on them, I'm going in for a bite. Then you want to cook them probably for about 45 minutes or so, 45-50 minutes before you put your potatoes on them. I gotta have a bite of these. Okay, now you know this stuff is good when you have to get a bite before the green beans, or before you get the camera set back up. Second bite here, I've been in and out of them since I've been cooking them. I like them that way. I like to get in and out of them while I'm cooking them all day long. That's why you gotta buy extra. So good, look at that perfection. My husband hates them. He hates green beans, so when I make a pot of green beans, I get them all to myself, me and my kids. Those are perfect. Go ahead and throw you some potatoes on them, like I said, if you want to. About 1 hour after the cooking process, your potatoes will be perfect on them. They're so delicious, green beans and potatoes. I hope you like this little cooking tutorial of how to make half-runner green beans fresh out of the garden. You know I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.